All right, Ben, thanks. The Discovery Channel's Shark Week has become such a phenomenon, and it's happening this week. And actually, this year, the timing couldn't be more appropriate because sharks are being spotted and tracked in local waters. Joining me this morning to tell us more about it is Joe Romeiro, who's a local underwater filmmaker. Thanks for being here this morning. First of all, you and I were talking about, just yesterday, I was in Chatham Inlet, and one of the other boats, I saw pilot whales, and one of the other boats saw 3 sharks in that area. You know, some beaches are closed down. Why? It seems like this is happening all of a sudden, and why is that?
Well, the populations of the seals around here in New England have actually grown to a point where they can sustain a population of white sharks.
I mean, it's just explosive. There are seals everywhere.
Well, now there's protection for both those animals.
Yeah, you can't
At one point,
them.
there wasn't protection for those animals. But we got to remember that 33 different species of sharks live in Rhode Island in New England waters. So
that's a shocking statistic. Do most people know that?
I think like fishermen, people that are around the oceans and stuff, kind of socialize themselves with that stuff and really like educate themselves. But for the majority, most people are so out of touch with nature. I don't really think that most of us do. But
now, one of the other things, aside from the seals, you were telling me off camera that you know, there are 2 streams of water that are converging right now. Tell me a little bit about that and how that's affecting the sharks.
When the Gulf Stream comes up during this time of year, it starts pushing all the tropical water up towards New England.
The warmer water.
And the colder water coming from, like, you know, the colder part of the world is like pushing down towards the Gulf Stream. So they both kind of converge. If you look at a temperature chart, there's like a temperature line that goes straight to Monomoy Island. That makes for a lot of life on both sides of the temperature. And white sharks are really like, the seals are there to concentrate really on what they're eating. And the white sharks are there for the seals.
Now, your perspective is that because you and I last year attempted to do a cageless shark dive, and that's something that you do on a regular basis. I mean, you go into the water with the sharks, and really without incident. I mean, just to observe them as a conservationist. Why is it that sharks have such a bad rap that people think shark and they think eating me? You know, is that because of, is that the Jaws effect?
I think what it comes down to is it's an entertainment factor. People, in the majority of what I run into, love sharks, but they're very kind of like intimidated and scared of sharks.
Ben Haig is one. He is terrified.
It's very good to have a respect for wild animals and to, like, you know, keep your distance from them, but to also remember that these animals are not like looking for us. They have like no interest in us, and if anything, they're indifferent to us.
And you had an interesting statistic. What is it easier to die by than by
almost anything. You could die from mosquito bites. You could die from a toaster before you will die from a shark attack in New England. The statistics are there. Like, mosquito bites are more dangerous than sharks right now.
And just like Nemo, the sharks learned in Finding Nemo, they had to learn that the fish are our friends, and I guess we have to learn that the sharks are our friends.
Coexisting is going to be like our thing right now.
Joe, thanks so much for being here this morning. And of course, stay updated on beach closures because of all of this. All you have to do is head to foxprovidence.com.